Hello everybody, I'm Ren, and this is video 7 in the How to Make a Character in 13th Age 2E playlist. We've got a packed schedule today covering 3 whole character creation steps and talking a bit about the different tiers of play. This is actually going to be less information dense than the last video for setting up the math, and not even because I refuse to do more math. I've kept these 3 steps together because it seemed like kind of a time waste to split them into 3 2-minute videos to then split across my current release schedule, especially since once you get the finer details of their definitions and mechanical functions out of the way, you're basically using the same decision-making process for each of them. If you've been following along with the series, you've already got the constants for playing your character down. These steps contain the flourishes that make your character unique to play. So let's get to flourishing. Step 8. Choosing your talents. You remember when you picked your class and got a list of features that were the fundamentals of being that class? Kinda like the minimum requirements? Cool. So, talents are the ways in which your character is doing more than the bare minimum to classify as whatever class you picked. Talents are the core of your playstyle. They represent the training your character did to become their version of your class. You pick 3 level-appropriate talents from your class list, and you're set. If you are a crunch first, story second type of player trying this system for your friend's sake, you might find it effective to combine this with the process of picking your class. I have picking talents way down after picking my unique because a decent unique is either going to give a broad vibe of what your character's history was, or what you envision your character's future to be. Having an idea of these vibes makes it so I can go, oh, my rogue grew up learning to hunt alongside a monster. She's probably really good at doubling down on weakened prey for efficiency, so the murderous talent fits her vibe really well. This sense of character can help us weed through talent options, but it isn't strictly necessary. You can just pick a talent because it looks cool as hell. And sometimes the choice is practical because you want the survivability or versatility taking the talent would offer as you head into whatever challenges your table's campaign theme promises. Once you have your 3 talents, you're ready to move on. But for some folks, this process might take longer than it does for others. Some classes just have more talents to choose from, sometimes because pop culture has a lot of different ways of envisioning a single class, and sometimes because they aren't going to have access to as many other options as other classes. Which brings us to Step 9, Final Touches of Class. This isn't a step everyone is going to have to complete. Barbarians, Rangers, and Paladins can move on to Step 10. But everyone else still has decisions to make before they can go pick a feat. Casters have to pick their spells, fighters their maneuvers, and rogues their powers. Spells for spellcasters feels pretty self-explanatory. Fighter maneuvers are examples of them using specific weapon techniques or employing the tactical knowledge that sets them apart from the everything can be solved with brute force attitude to combat that barbarians have. And rogues get rogue powers that can account for the off-the-wall bullshit rogues can achieve with enough agility and ruthless calculation. Your class progression table is going to be able to tell you how many of each kind of spell, maneuver, or power you have, and which list to choose from. The lists are divided by the minimum level threshold you have to meet to be able to perform them. As you can see here, as a first level rogue, Topaz gets 3 powers from the first level power list, or pool as they call it here. These will go down under our features, and it's much like picking talents. Pick what sounds cool, or useful, or like it would be thematically appropriate for the personality you're starting to build for this character. Spellcasters also get a dedicated section on the second character sheet that can be used to jot down spell names and page references for their 1 per arc spells if they don't want to clutter their primary character sheet so much. Step 10. Choosing your feat. Feats are fun! And I'm only being a little facetious. I'm sure you've noticed them listed out under plenty of features and powers and spells on your way to this step. They are pretty omnipresent throughout the kin and class chapters, and just when you think you've left them behind, a list of universal feats shows up in Chapter 5 as well. Universal feats stand out from the crowd in that they can be taken by anyone regardless of their kin or class. For all other feats, you must have chosen the path that the feat is connected to. For example, you must be some version of an elf to take the Adventurer feat, Heritage of the Sword. And you must be a High Elf who took the Highborn Teleport Kin Power if you want to eventually get the Champion feat attached to it. You'll find that any feat tied to a power or spell is very focused on making that power stronger or more versatile. Before we continue, I did just use a particular couple of terms just now, so I think it's about time to do a side quest about them. Side quest. Like feats, probably because they are attached to basically all of them, you've probably seen the terms Adventurer, Champion, and Epic a lot through your reading. You may even have seen the word Zenith scattered around. The short version is they are difficulty tiers. The labels are helpful tools for balancing play and setting expectations. Levels 1 through 4 are your Adventurer tier. You've likely been on some adventures, but you're only just getting into the overarching conspiracies that come with being a hero. People may recognize there is something special about you, but only folks who like to keep on top of what powerful beings are walking around are likely to know who you are. Levels 5 through 7 make the Champion tier. You're getting into the rhythm of being a hero, and are more capable of handling the challenges and dilemmas that come with being a hero, as well as the rippling consequences that follow your actions. Normal people are more likely to recognize you by reputation, at least in the general geographic area you've been questing in. Then there is the Epic tier of levels 8 through 10. You are the one people turn to when the world is at stake. The one people assume could kill a god if the need arose. Most everyone in the setting knows who you are, and they probably are pretty polarized for or against you. You're still a person, but you're also an entrenched symbol of heroism that people are using to define the era, the age you're living in. Finally, there's Zenith tier. This is when you've reached the end of Epic tier but haven't let go of the characters yet. So go break through the skin of reality to become gods in a new universe or some shit. Go nuts here. So, feats. They are expressions of expertise. Definitely check out the universal feats to see if anything would emphasize your playstyle or make your turns flow more smoothly. If nothing jumps out at you though, switch tactics. Look at all the choices you have already made, see which features, talents, and powers, and so on have feats attached that are in your tier, and which one you think would be most fun or thematically appropriate for your character to be better at than anyone else. Topaz is starting at level 1, so I only need to pick one feat. However, thanks to my earlier pick of Magicker with Magic Missile for a kin power, I'm actually in the very rare situation of starting with 2 feats. For thematic reasons, I am taking the Rogue feat Danger Trigger, which is also fairly unique as it will develop as I level up into different tiers of play. With that, we've reached the end of another video. Thank you for watching. Now that you're out the other side, do you think I made the right call in keeping these steps bundled together? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video for step 11, where it's going to be all things icons. Until then, keep practicing hope, and don't be afraid to get punk about it.